There's a surah in the Quran, and there was a teacher one time that was explaining it to me, and really it's hard to begin to appreciate the Quran as it should be appreciated if you're not really well versed in classical Arabic. If you speak Arabic as your first language, you have a big advantage. But classical Arabic is even different, and for those of us who don't speak Arabic as our first language, sometimes we miss a lot of the things that we could catch. So this teacher one time went over this surah with us, and just to remind you, as I was reminded, about the Quran and who it was revealed to. It was revealed to a people who were in this area that nobody wanted to be in. Nobody even wanted to conquer them. They were just left alone for so many years because as people were coming to conquer lands, they would look at the map and say, just leave that place alone. What's there? It's just sand, nothing. So in this space, their language was developing. If you start to learn the Arabic language, or if you talk to someone that does, it's like they can describe anything with their language, just words for very detailed things. It's a very rich language. And this language was developing and developing and developing. And so much so that language was something that they really appreciated. Poetry, if you were a very good poet, you were a very powerful person. They would send out their poets sometime at the beginning of the battle to just battle against each other in poetry. It was rich. So he said, this teacher, when this surah was being revealed, at this point I can't appreciate it like it should be, but the Arabic words and the rhythm that it was saying was painting pictures in the Arab's mind that was just drawing them in. And they were drawn in and listening. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. والعاديات ضبحا فالموريات قدحا فالمغيرات صبحا فأثرن به نقعا فوسطن به جمعا. There's a rhythm to all of this. And beyond the rhythm, there's images that are being painted in the mind of the Arab that's making them become appreciative of what the Prophet is talking about. He's describing this horse. And they loved horses. And they could appreciate a good horse. A strong horse with no fear that could just run into the thick of the battle. Swords being pointed at it. No problem. This horse is going to go right through it, past all of that, and right into the middle of the battle. This is what it's describing. And the Arabs are listening. And it's describing how the breath is coming out of the horse and how his hooves are hitting the wet ground so hard that it's creating sparks. It's hard to do on a wet ground. And they're listening and they're listening. They're being drawn in. And then the rhythm changes. And you would think the topic changes, but it doesn't. Innal insana li rabbihi lakanud. Right in the middle of all of that. The rhythmic words, the story of the horse, right in the middle of all that, the rhythm changes. And Allah says here, indeed, mankind to Allah is ungrateful. So you can imagine you're listening to this, and if you really appreciate the Arabic language they did, they've been drawn in with this rhythm. What did you just say? Your whole speech just changed. One of the teachers says the Quran does that in several places to make you snap out and pay attention. To actually say, okay, what was that? What did he just say? They're being drawn in to appreciate a horse. How they can appreciate this beautiful, strong horse, and in their mind they think about how nice it would be to have that. And I've seen that, and I really love that, and I want that. They're drawn into appreciating. and then are reminded that they don't appreciate Allah in that moment. Indeed, to your own Lord, you're ungrateful. And you testify to this is the next verse, with your actions, with your words. We are our own testimony. And indeed, we are a witness to this. And indeed, we have this intense love of wealth. We love money. And I'm not going to lie, I love money. If somebody wants to give me money, I'm taking money. If you get a job paying more money, you're going to take the job paying more money. But sometimes it's so intense that you'll leave some things that Allah has asked you to do for that love of the money. You'll disregard things that you know you should be doing, chasing money. You'll marry the wrong or right person just for money. You'll lie to your brother, to your mother. You'll withhold the truth for money. It's intense.